Hello and welcome to our new channel, Mr. D's UK Discoveries. Wow. Um, where hopefully we're going to be turning up all sorts of interesting facts about the UK. You know, some of you may know them, many of you may not. But in any event, I do hope you're going to find this interesting and enjoyable. If you do enjoy the content, then please do click the like button, and it does make a big difference to us here on the channel and will enable us to grow and push out some more great content to you good people. So thank you for that. Sit back and enjoy. And although, as I said, it is predominantly about the UK, on this particular story, we have to go back 2,000 years. Wow. To Roman times. And during the years 122 AD to 146 AD, there was a very, very famous sportsman. Today's all about the love of horses and horse racing and all that sort of subject, and how it's had an impact on the UK. But I want to talk about this guy because he must be absolutely unique, even though I'd never heard of him. Um, his name is Gaius. I'll try again. Gaius Apuleius Diocles. Wow. Um, Must have been a real bugger going online, filling your name in every time. And I use the term jockey, but of course, back in those days, it was all about chariot racing. And this guy, well, I'm not going to say the name again. This guy was the best chariot racer of his time, and the Romans loved a good time. Yes, they fought hard and played hard and just whooped it up, and one of their big pastimes was gambling, and and this guy just made so much money. It was absolutely unbelievable, really, and reckoned to be the highest paid, most successful sportsman of all time. And I can believe that. With estimated earnings in today's money, £15 billion. Yeah, 15 billion. Unbelievable. He was very successful for many years, between those years, 122 and 146 AD. And, wow, I mean, that is just incredible. So the story of horse racing for us starts there. And of course, following on to the Battle of Hastings in the UK back in 1066. The Romans brought it over to the UK, and there began, the love of horse racing. So, moving on, these days we have approximately 59 racecourses in the UK. The numbers seem to be a little bit vague actually on this. Sometimes it's 59, sometimes it's 61. I think some of them open and close depending on demand or whatever. But anyway, there's at least 59 racecourses, very substantial racecourses as well now, throughout the UK, as far north as Scotland and across to Wales, etc. You have what's known as the flat season, where of course they're just racing from what's called point to point, and that's between March and October. So there's no jumping over fences. That's just running on the flat, and obviously mainly a kind of a spring summertime activity. We then have something called the National Hunt, which is basically jumping over fences. And the National Hunt season actually, well, to be honest, it runs virtually all year. So it's not really a season as such. It just kind of it's on all the time. Very popular national hunt and followed extensively. Um, Before I sort of move on, I needed to, for the benefit of those that don't know, and I include myself in this one because I didn't know this either, and that's one of the great benefits of doing these channels when you rehearse stuff and you research stuff. I beg your pardon, and you learn all sorts of things that you hadn't previously known. And it's all about the fact that when racehorses in particular are bought and sold, they're always priced in guineas. And I never realised that the guinea was a real sort of coin. I just thought it was this kind of notional thing that you hear about in old films. But anyway, the guinea did exist. It was a gold coin, and it was brought actually back from the country of Guinea in Africa. So that's where its name is derived from. We're going back to the 1700s, so the guinea was around for actually a long time, 100 years and more. And its value was 21 shillings in sort of old money. In new money, that's £1.05, which you may think, well, that's a strange amount, and it is. As I said, you got this coin. It was 22 karat gold, and it was brought across from the country of Guinea. Back in those days, it was used for anything of to buy and sell anything of high value. So I guess certain types of properties and all that kind of thing. But horses were definitely included in that. Historically, the way it sort of worked was that when there was a horse for sale, it went to an auctioneer's. And what used to happen is that it was the horse was advertised for sale, etc., etc. So, the price was advertised in guineas. The buyer would pay the money over, but then a 5 pence in the pound commission went to the auction house. Doesn't work that way today, but sort of historically that's the way it worked, and that was really I think where this strange amount of £1.05 came from. That it was to do with the way horses were bought and sold. So that's the kind of history of it. So I kind of needed to explain that because all will become apparent now when I talk about some of the classic races in the UK. So the big ones that people will know about are the Grand National, where that is a very, very telling race over quite a lot of fences. It generates massive interest, and people come from all over the world to see that. It's a great occasion, really, the Grand National, and that's just one horse race, believe it or not. There are various races during the course of that day, but the Grand National is just one race with a lot of entrants. A very, very full field of runners and riders, and very exciting. You then have the 2,000 guineas race, the 1,000 guineas race, the Oaks, the Derby, the St. Leger, and Royal Ascot. Now, the big thing about Royal Ascot, that runs for several days. And one of the days, is actually known as Ladies' Day. In addition to that, it's also called Gold Cup Day. But Ladies' Day is just as you would expect. It's a day when all the ladies try and outdo each other, saying, my outfit cost £1,000 more than your outfit. I mean, the ladies really do look something special, but you got the creme de la creme coming up from London, and it's all about my outfit cost a damn sight more than yours. It's quite a spectacle, it really is. So you got that, and that's at Royal Ascot. You then have Cheltenham, the Cheltenham Festival, and again that attracts massive interest. You've got a great deal of wonderful racehorses and trainers based in Ireland, and they all come over for the Cheltenham Festival. It runs for, I think it's 4 days, and would typically attract 200,000 people coming over to have a bet and to enjoy the crack and to enjoy one or two pints of Guinness, I would guess. Yeah, Cheltenham, it really is quite something. So that's the Cheltenham Festival. Lasts for 4 days. You got British Championship Day in October, which tends to mark the end of the season. I guess it's probably weather dependent as well. I don't know, but normally it would signal the end of the season. For those of you that are not familiar with the term, we also have a thing called eventing, which is, it's not a horse race as such. This is all about style and grace, and how well a horse and rider can perform a series of different tasks. So this is what we call an equestrian triathlon. So there are 3 separate things that the horse and rider need to go through, and it's held on different days. And indeed, the big thing in the calendar tends to be the Burghley Horse Trials, and the Burghley Horse Trials are watched by people all over the world. I mean, it's a beautiful thing to watch. It really is. The 3 sorry, put my teeth back in. The 3 distinct disciplines are dressage, cross country, and show jumping. There are 8 locations in the UK, and one of our top performers back in the day was actually Princess Anne, the Princess Royal. Princess Anne actually won a gold medal in 1971 and 2 silver medals in 1975. So she really was great. I'm trying to think back. I don't know whether he won anything, but I know Prince Philip, didn't he used to? They had like a pony and trap type arrangement. It was that kind of horses pulling some kind of carriage behind them. And I know Prince Philip was sort of into all that. I don't think he wasn't at Anne's level. I don't think he actually won anything, but he may have done. I don't know. But it's a beautiful thing to watch. It really is. And the British are extremely fond of horses, and as I said, it's maybe it's derived from the fact that, if you think about it, I mean, one of the big instigators of it over here in the UK was Queen Elizabeth, and given that she's a direct descendant of William the Conqueror in 1066. It's perhaps no wonder that that love of horses and horse racing has continued here in the UK. So there we are. A little bit of history chucked in there as well. But like I said, a huge industry here in the UK, and with on course betting and all that sort of thing. A very big industry. The horses are adored by British people and others that sort of work in the industry, and it attracts visitors from all over. So I do hope you've enjoyed that. If you have done, then please do click the like button. And thank you very much for your time. Hope you've enjoyed it. And I'll catch up with you soon. Okay, thanks for that. Bye for now.